Hey, Keavah.
Hello.
Oh, your thing's on Keavah.
Unless he was just roboting.
Let me see. Is it on right now?
Yeah, you're a robot.
Keavah's actually been a robot this whole time.
He was using a voice modulator to make himself sound human.
Okay, how about now?
You as human.
Okay,
Yep.
robot now?
You are a robot now.
Yep.
Okay, good.
Well, you're more human than
Double.
How's everybody doing?
All right.
Yeah.
Doing alright.
Y'all hear
Explorer's
about
Guide to Wildmount.
what's that?
Explorer's Guide to Wildmount.
That was where I was gonna jump right into. I was like, y'all hear about that Explorer's Guide?
Yep. Want.
I kind of want the Dunamancy because pretty cool what they showed on the show.
Yeah, I watched the interview with Mercer talking to D&D Beyond about it, and a bunch of the stuff he described, I was just like, man, all of these spells would be really good Cypher spells. I want them.
When's it?
I'm getting it on D&D Beyond, so...
Well, there you go. I'll probably pick it up for Roll20 too. That would be have it.
Oh, nice. Yeah, then we can look it up. That'd be great. It comes out March 17th.
Oh, so it's a wait.
Yeah,
I mean,
a little bit.
not that far away, but like
but a couple of months. Yeah.
Far enough that you have to be like, it's 2 months.
Yeah,
not awful.
Yeah, but it's coming with 3 subclasses, 2 for wizard, 1 for fighter. Then like a bunch of new spells, a bunch of new monsters, and then all setting info, and then 4 low-level adventures for each region of Wildmount. A very hefty like campaign setting book.
I built the world over the course of several years, so I imagine it's got a lot in there.
Yeah, well, I mean, the first one had a fair bit of content. It wasn't massive, but it had pretty decent world building stuff.
Yeah. Well, yeah, gotta get that hype. Also, I don't think you were there for it yesterday during Bag of Bones. I was in conversation with not one but 2 famous people for being in shows that will come up. One that will potentially be in a show, and one that is super excited about helping and promoting and generally giving hype and like presence for beta testing their game. BD Walters, the guy who plays Victor Temple for LA by Night, he was like shouting out people's Patreons, and I was like, look at our Patreon. We do Vampire the Masquerade too, and we'd love to have you on our game someday. And he's like, DM me, my dude. And I'm like, I was like,
cool.
I was like, yes, hi, how are you? And yeah,
cool,
like,
man. That's awesome.
I spent like 2 hours talking to him over Twitter, and he's very chill and very nice. And we, with his advice, basically we're changing the name for Vancouver by Night because, yeah, there's another Vancouver by Night, and they're really swell people, but it's really difficult to promote your show if there's another. And he's like, yeah, you probably should just change that. I was like, that's a good idea. And I liked the name he gave, but Chestnut also had a valid point, and we went with Chestnut's naming idea. As much as I want to shout out BD Walters for the great title Kindred of the North, but
Ooh, that is good.
Yeah, we went with Vampire the Masquerade Northern Lights because they're in
That's
Canada.
pretty good.
Yeah, it's still pretty solid, and both of them work really well for additional seasons that aren't connected. Because like, you know, there was the case of it should be something connected to our specific coterie, but then it's like, well, the next season will be Anarchs, so if we do one based on people loyal to the Prince and the Camarilla, it doesn't really work. But I do like Northern Lights, and that's good. And then the other one is Fusions. Random Tuesday is working on a Steven Universe game that is
cool,
contractually not connected to Steven Universe, but uses the general theme and stuff. And so, you know, when I bought her PDF that's still in development, and I was like, hey, we're super excited to play this game, you know, she also messaged and was like, thank you for playing my game. It's not completed, you know, but tell me how you like it. And I'm like, I'd be happy to beta test it and give you feedback. And she's like, everyone look at how wonderful this channel is. And, and these people, like, in the middle of her stream with a bunch of people, she's like, look at how great they are. They're going to play my game, and I love them. And they're great. And, you know, it's like, and she's like, message me, and, you know, I can help, you know, get stuff going. And it's like, you're so wonderful.
No, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah, it was a good feeling last night.
Yeah, it sounds like it was a very good evening.
It was a very, very good evening, which means we're going to be pretty full up for productions in the foreseeable future, because we also have the announcement that Wednesday show will be starting soon as well. We're going to be playing Misspent Youth, where everybody gets to be rambunctious, rebellious teenagers against the machine.
Can we do this already?
Well, it'll be for a Wednesday, but it probably won't be this Wednesday because that is too early for me to be ready.
It does take time to set stuff up.
It does. And yeah, having to figure out the production for 3 shows? No, 2. 2 shows. Third being Curse of Strahd, but Ark is handling that one.
Yeah.
But I do have to get the overlay ready.
Overlays are important.
Overlays are important.
Makes everything feel nice and cozy.
I can't use the one we had before because I gotta make slots for the webcam. Which no need to worry.
That's right.
Existing,
you guys are transitioning, huh?
Yeah, existing games that don't have webcams won't have them forced on.
Word.
The new shows, I'm gonna encourage that we do it because I have noticed that there's a higher viewer count for shows where people can see you and your reactions.
Yeah, and I mean, it's like one of the only problem I've ever had with like online D&D like this is that you do lose like the subtlety of being able to read people's expressions and stuff without having to talk. And so, I mean, I support it. I don't have a webcam, so I can't really do that. I support it.
I mean, yeah, if I had pitched the idea to you, I could have sent you a webcam with everybody else's webcams that I sent out for Christmas /
That was very nice of you.
Yeah, I hooked up the cast. So that
yeah, and it's a tax write-off.
Hey, that is what I said to myself as well. I was like,
dude, I fucking live and breathe that shit. Are you kidding me? Yeah, absolutely.
I found a really good one, and I was like, I will just mass buy this one because it is good. It comes with its own little ring light, and
oh, it's really good.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. Yeah. Oh man, that's awesome. I hope it works out for you guys.
Yeah, we'll see. We're gonna start up.
The ring light has like 3 different settings too.
Ooh, cool. Very cool.
Hey, I'm gonna feel bad if I don't end up in any of the webcam games.
You're playing Fusion, Morph. Don't be silly.
Am I? What days is that planning on running?
Wednesday. Singing is mandatory.
I'm tone deaf.
Friday. Fusion will be Friday, and singing is mandatory.
I wish I could do Friday, but I'm in Keavah's game.
Keavah!
Hey, man.
I'm also glad to hear about all of this good stuff on top of me having to, my stuff going on that sadly might hinder some other games.
Well, hopefully it doesn't. You have your thing tomorrow, though, right?
I have my thing tomorrow, but it was set up for, like... It's early in the morning, but not super early, so I get to get enough sleep.
We're still shutting down early for you.
Yeah, but it's also going to be happening for the next 4 weeks.
Okay,
This
so
is the first, so the next the 3 after this.
So we'll account for it for the next month.
Yeah, I'll let the thing. If I get any information, if they end up being earlier, I will definitely let you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we will accommodate accordingly. Your health is everyone's health is important.
Appreciated.
Which, speaking of, Shay, you haven't said anything. How are you doing?
I'm well, and I just figured I'd let you all talk.
Oh, why wouldn't you talk too?
I mean, it seemed pretty intense and excited, so I just let that. I just let the boat.
Okay.
It's fair. Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
it was
all
very
good news.
Yeah, it was very impassioned. I didn't want to interrupt that.
Does anybody? How is your tablet drawing?
Let me tell you about my adventure.
Please do.
So these fucking animals.
Oh no.
They quoted me $900 initially, like 2 weeks ago, and then I started taking it around to other repair places. And a bunch of repair places were like, "Hey, we can't help you." But then I got a repair place that was like, "Look, here's the deal. It's probably a 70-30 chance, 30 that we can actually help you." And I was like, "All right, cool. Well, let me talk to the manufacturer before I agree to that." Talked to the manufacturer again, sent them a video of the issue and a bunch of my specs and all that shit. And they quoted me without looking at the screen and with what I already know is wrong with it, because I know what's wrong with it. They quoted me $1,500. So that was a thing. I dropped it off at the repair place. I'm not expecting to get it back. I ordered another tablet that isn't as good and isn't as cool and shiny, but works just fine, and it will live on my desk, and that'll be okay. But yeah, did not go well. I fucking bitched at them on Twitter, and then they said, "Hey, thanks for your feedback. We'll send it to our people." And I'm like, "All right, yeah, whatever. Fuck off. Leave me alone."
Which means
so I'm just done with that company.
They didn't read it at all.
No, they didn't. No, not at all. I also had some weird columnist guy who is like a what was it? It was like a PR reporter or something like that, or a customer service reporter or something. I don't know. He followed me on Twitter after I read it, and I was like, "That's weird. You've come to a weird place, friend. You can unfollow me in a day or two."
You can enjoy this until you don't.
Yeah. I think my very next tweet was about fucking foot fetishes in my doctor's visit.
Excellent.
So yeah.
Well, hey, that's.
Yeah, but either way, one way or the other, hopefully by Thursday I will be back at work and being able to make things and fucking not be going crazy.
I know that feeling.
Yeah, it suck. It big suck.
Work has been kind of wild, too. They were like, "Gear up, it's gonna get busy again," and then it hasn't been. It's been a void of not actual people being there, and it's like, well, this is the opposite of what you said would happen. Where are all the people?
I mean,
they're recovering from the holidays. It's fine.
I feel that. No. Yeah, no, man, that's really cool. I saw that on Forge's channel they were shifting over. You guys were shifting over to do the webcam stuff too.
Oh no, we're not. We're not doing anything with Forge anymore.
Oh, okay. Well, I am still in that Discord.
Oh. Yeah. There was a bit of an exodus. Forge decided that the disagreeing with him for any reason is grounds for getting kicked out of all games, even when you say in the most adult fashion, "Hey, I don't agree with that decision, but you're the DM, so I'll respect it and do something else."
Right.
You get a drive-by text message of, "Hey, I don't like that you disagreed with me. You're gone." And,
okay.
Mm-hmm. And
well, fair.
It was a hit and run. He messaged and then immediately signed out, and it was like, okay, I'm too old to respond to shenanigans like this, and it's like, I guess I'm just gonna pull myself out of everything because, yeah, when, like, not even that, just they haven't been very supportive of our channel in all the time that we've known him.
Right.
I figure there's something bigger going on.
Well, I just mean for all the work we've done to help him get up there and contribute to his games, there was very little reciprocation. So when that happened, I was just kind of like, okay. And kind of like how you kind of backed out of Tomb of Annihilation, I hadn't been having much fun in the games for a while. And,
Right.
You know, there were, you know, Rez kind of dropped out shortly after 2, and that kind of killed my mood for a couple games because it was like, well, one of my characters is connected to his because that's how he likes playing games. So it's like, I have no reason to play this character anymore. So let me make another one. And that's how the dispute came up because he has a game that's where it's Faerun and Eberron are connected because planes, and it, you know, it's a legitimate thing if you go into like Spelljammer and stuff. But
Yeah,
I was like, hey, you connected these worlds, and the Remnants of the Last War book came out with a bunch of rules and things for how to play different things. Can I be a halfling cavalier from Talanta that rides a dinosaur? Because that's a thing in Eberron. It's like, it's a thing, there are rules, and it's doable. And his reason for disagreeing was, you can't just randomly have a mount. Okay, but we're level 4, so I wouldn't randomly have a mount. I would have had a mount somewhere between...
you could have progressed into acquiring that mount, yeah.
And that's what I said. It's like, somewhere between 1 and 4, I would have acquired this mount, which would have been part of my backstory, because Talanta halflings ride dinosaurs. They are very attached to dinosaurs. They train and ride dinosaurs.
It's like it's like the equivalent of the Mwangi Expanse in Pathfinder.
Mm-hmm. And basically, it's like, you know, there's a legitimate reason, and you know, it would work into being the Cavalier. And it's like, well, you wouldn't be able to afford one. It's like, I'm level 4, and it's not that expensive, and it would be one that they probably raised or acquired from their tribe, so it's not that hard to justify it. And
you could justify it.
He continued, and he said, well, this is an urban campaign, and you can't have your own personal mount in a city. And I said, horses existed in major cities for thousands of years. And
yeah, I mean, if anything, it would make it a little more
system in Waterdeep.
Yeah, and it's like and he's like everybody uses the magic metro system. And I was like, nobody tell him that. I didn't say this to him, but like I messaged Ark during this. I was like, do not tell him that people ride bicycles or own cars in New York, even though there is a subway system. It's like,
I was about to say, there's a light rail like 5 minutes from my house. I still own a car.
Yeah, it's like, and it's like, yes, that's fine, but not everybody uses the public transit system.
Yeah,
it would not be viable.
Yeah, it would be one thing if he was like, nah, I don't want dinosaurs in the game. Mm-hmm. All right, cool, fine, sure, whatever. That's an acceptable reason. It's an opinion. That's fine.
Yep.
But like these other reasons aren't. Nah. Just say how you feel. Just be honest. That's okay.
Aren't there still like certain sections of metropolitan New York where there are cops on horses?
Yes.
Yeah.
And carriage rides.
Mm-hmm.
Like it did not make sense, and that
was a weird situation.
That is basically where it just amounted to. It's like, okay, that's really crippling a character design, but I can make something else. And I did. I made an artificer that I was super psyched about playing, and I had basically pushed it aside, and then like 3 days later I got that message, and it was like, okay.
Lame.
It's like, well, I guess you just burned 3 games that you had running, because it's like I am there, and you know, Ark and Shay and Morph one, I think, and it's like I don't think anybody's. What? Were you in any of his games?
I was about to join you. You were
about
to join. Character.
You were about to join Civil War. There you go. And so it was just kind of like, well, I'm leaving, and you guys can leave too because it's not very cool. And I'm glad there was some solidarity and people not feeling very comfortable with the shenanigans.
Yeah, that's rough. I mean, full disclosure, like I have Forge's channel muted in my Discord, and it just pings whenever they're like at everybody, which was the only reason I knew about the webcam shit.
Yeah.
Because I don't know Forge. I'm you know, I hang out in Discords and post art in places.
Yep. Otherwise, good person, but he had weird moments like that, and it was just kind of like, eh. And you know, for saying this during a stream, hey, you know, if you want to check out Forge's channel, he's still a great person. It's just I'm not gonna fight with him over something like D&D or, you know, the way he wants to run his shows or / channels.
Yeah, it's not. Nah, that's not worth it.
And personally, it's like, as a person who's DM'd for 15 plus years, this is very much just I'm a new DM on a power trip kind of problem. And it's like, he'll grow out of it, because it's the same thing with his homebrew shows. It is very much this is my story and you're here to hear what's happening and go along with it. And it's like, okay, this is fun. But
that's, you know,
he'll grow out of it.
It happens. Yeah, it happens to everybody.
No, he does good stuff, and he'll improve over time, and I wish him the best. But hey, we have our own game to focus on, unless you had more to add. Go.
Oh no, I was just had more small talk, so we're good.
Okay,
let's play D&D.
Let's play some D&D. Let's play some Forest for the Trees, because we
we play D&D here.
I know, we play D&D here. Well, we play other things besides D&D.
Just a heads up. We have Lily and Tink on the over.
Yes, I do need to that. Oh, I don't remember that, because nobody has still updated their D&D Beyond sheets for. That.
I don't know if I should have a new character sheet appropriate for that, or if I should just
you can just
kill
edit one of the dead characters because they're dead.
You can either edit the dead character or you can remove them and add a new one.
Last time on Forest for the Trees.
Yeah, please go.
People died.
Did they?
I don't know about that.
The rabbit lady died.
Yeah. I don't know about that. I really don't. She might have, maybe. We don't know. But
she got absorbed.
But we tried so hard to keep her alive.
But we did escort her to a bank where some very strange people really wanted to get their hands on her, and then we tried fleeing from the bank. But that seemed to not matter at all, because tentacles, tentacles just reached right out of the window, and despite running away,
Cosmic Horrors be a bitch like that.
Despite running away, I grabbed her and
very
her
large
back.
boy.
And then I ran in and got hit in one shot and could have potentially died. And that's when I discovered that this thing was in the double digits of CRs.
Yeah, you shouldn't be looking up characters again.
I didn't. I had
reminder.
I did not. I knew what that was. I figured it out when I got hit. It's not like I don't know these things. But
I was confused the whole time.
Yeah, you actually did pretty good. You rolled pretty good for.
Yeah, I did. I only lost like two actions overall.
Yeah.
I got pretty lucky with my rolls.
But with Melissa, the familiar that we had been running away with, snatched, it promptly fled, promising to make us part of its family later.
Yeah, and now we are hanging out and waiting. We did some research on some things.
Established a perimeter.
Yep, and are waiting for the bank manager to open up this damn vault, which is where the thing escaped into.
Indeed, and I discovered that this mask has writing on it that resembles corrupted celestial. And then I thought on it, and I was like, abyssal, Jublex, ooze,
That's right.
connecting dots.
Yep, Dweeblix. I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
And now we have some nice jazz.
Idle jazz just played. And sitting in the wait. But really, you do hang outside of the bank, waiting for the rest of the force to show up and investigate the area. It's not long before a sergeant arrives to get a debriefing and statement from you all. The man who walks up is a human, little short, stubby, kind of looks like it's only like a week old beard that he's trying to grow in, dark complexion, brown eyes with a little pair of glasses sitting on his nose, and he walks up and he says, "So, you want to tell me what you guys were doing outside of the bank? It sounded urgent when you called us, but there's nobody here."
I'll step forward. Affirmative. We approached the bank with a individual we suspected was in danger of being targeted by some assailants. Unfortunately, here's our suspicions were correct. As you can see, there has been severe amounts of damage to back end of bank tellers' desks. This was caused in part by the struggle with individuals that kidnapped our
Yep.
target.
I like pop up behind him. They're part of a cult, a Jublex cult.
That is not yet confirmed.
I hold up the mask.
He's just kind of taking down notes. Cherry, Jublik.
A giant ooze snatched Melissa.
This
They escaped into the vault.
Indeed. There were other assailants, however, upon their demise, they diminished.
right, the mustard on the ground around the robes. Or no,
I'd say
not
they were
around the
oozes
robes.
too.
The mustard on the ground because the robes
Affirmative.
masks were picked up. Well, we're gonna have the boys down at the labs analyze this, get an idea of what it is while we wait for the bank manager to open up the vaults.
That would be greatly appreciated.
Once you've all returned your reports, I suggest you get her, he gestures over to Lee, back home. This is something we can handle from here. Inspector looks at, because I think only you are an inspector.
Yeah, it just
It's just you now.
What about Melissa?
Well, we'll have to look into this, Melissa. But if she was taken, there's not much we can do about it now.
if it
Don't
would
worry.
be acceptable, sir. I would request that we remain until the vault can be opened.
I don't think that's necessary, but you do have a delegate here, and if there's more dangers, it's gonna look bad if something were to happen to her. He looks
Agreed.
at the noticeable bruise on Lee already.
Agreed, but I do believe may also set her mind at ease. Perhaps avoid future shenanigans.
How about I meet you halfway? I'll forward the findings once we open up the vault to you. If there's anyone inside, they can't go anywhere.
It's an
I s-
ooze. It slipped through.
I stare at him for like 3 beats. This is most appreciated. Thank you.
Of course. And Don't worry, miss. If it slipped through, chances are it's down in the sewers, and those go on for miles. We would be looking for a needle in a needle stack under a hay bale in a forest of pine needle.
Affirmative.
What I mean to
have-
say is it would be very hard to find them once they got into.
I have suggested avenues of approach, but they will be in my report.
Thank you. It will. We'll make sure that this all gets filed away. You guys did good job today. I know most people don't tell you that. Your efforts to help this individual, Melissa, before she was abducted, is appreciated. The information you provided will help us track them down.
If you touch the ooze, you hear screams, and it hurts your head.
Screams. He writes that down and kind of blinks at the words. Noted. We'll not make direct contact with any of the mustard.
It did not like fire.
It did. He scribbles that down. He tears off a sheet of paper and passes it to a patrolman. He says, "Get this to everyone."
I'll turn and hold out my hand to Lee. May I have the mask?
I hand over the mask.
I turn it over to the other officer who we're speaking to. Say, as previously stated, this mask was a physical object attached to one of these cultists. Perhaps it may be useful as an element to scry.
That might be
Oh.
useful as well. We could set up a sting operation later.
Agreed. I have other theories, but they are still processing.
Good
The
work.
details will be in my report.
Thank you, Cypher. This is all very helpful. Good work again, everyone.
One more note: the suspects called themselves the supposed cult. They went by the name The Family, and would only keep chanting that they were welcoming people and searching them out to join the family.
I think I've heard this before in other reports. We'll cross-reference what we found.
A flyer, and Cypher said it would track you once you picked it up.
Indeed.
All right, great work, everyone. Oh, I've already said that, but really.
Thank you. We will ensure that the delegate is returned to her domicile.
I make a pouty face.
Officer Charles,
Detective?
would you like to drive?
I don't think that's a good idea.
Does his tail wag, though?
Wants to stick his head out the window.
Oh, that's fuck. I thought he had fucking land vehicle proficiency. I was trying to be a friend.
Not a fighter,
no.
he's a warlock.
Very well. If there is nothing else pertinent, perhaps we should take our leave and allow investigators to do their job. I
Of
hold
course.
a hand out towards the door.
Good luck.
Thank you.
We shall excuse ourselves and return to our car.
Alrighty.
I give a nod and leave.
Very, very
I will
good.
drive. Zoom, zoom.
And so, you all head back towards the Ivory District. That's what I. Yes. To get back to Palace, where you know that Lee is currently living. They didn't really make arrangements for where you all would be. It's just kind of assumed that you'd go back to your own residences and be there in the mornings and stuff. So it's not long before you drop her off and being as late as it is, when you arrive, you're greeted at the gates by a couple of blue coat guards that are manning the outer perimeter, and you flash your badge and they let you in. And once you've arrived into the main foyer, there's Tressia the maid standing at the top of the staircase and says, "Lady Lee, you've been gone for so long. We were starting to get worried about you."
I'm sorry.
"It's quite all right. I've drawn a bath for you if you would like, and, well, it's rather late. You should be sending your... what's the word? You should be sending your bodyguards home for the evening. I'm sure they have their own things they want to be doing."
Oh. Very well. I'll turn to them and say, "You are all dismissed. Thank you very much for keeping me."
As much as we could. You were actually a benefit in that last encounter, Miss Lee, so thank you for what it's worth.
Well, you're welcome.
I'm pleased to hear that. I'll have a wonderful evening. And she does a full 45-degree bow. No,
Yeah.
not 45, 90. Excuse me, brain dump. 45. She goes 90 and then an additional 15. It's just like, ah.
She does a full 180-degree bow.
Yeah, she does a full 180 bow.
She snaps her spine in half to get it done.
She 360s. She's Spinel now.
I have a
It's
new
fine.
view on the world.
Yep. Gotta get a new angle on life. She 90 degrees in the wrong direction.
Osric would remove his hat, return the bow, just look to Lee. "We'll see you tomorrow."
Bright and early.
Of course. Oh,
Have a good night, Lady Asley.
have a good night. Asuka, do you have a favor?
If I can do something for you, sure.
If you happen to get a hold of any books on what we discussed, I'd appreciate it.
You will be the first I let know if dispatch comes along with any of those. I could check my books at home too, see if I have anything that might have been lying around for my studies previous. I'll let you know.
Appreciate it. Have a good night.
You as well, Lady Asley.
And I will join Tressia.
I will turn to leave.
And so she guides Lee up to go take a bath and get ready for the night. The camera will turn towards the trio as they make their way back to the car. Who gets dropped off first?
Do either of you have a preference?
So I mentioned the out-of-character question, the pause is further from the Ivory District.
Yes. You probably have the farthest to go, but where does a Warforged actually sleep? Question.
Me? Oh, well, I don't sleep. I'm a Warforged. But I am going to go back to the office, like I do every night, finish my paperwork, and then I will take my Sentinel's rest there.
Finishes his paperwork and gets started on next week's paperwork. He's currently
It's
365 days ahead of his quota.
it's the equivalent of an animatronic that's just kind of off, just sitting in a chair. Yeah,
He has to
it's terrifying.
download his firmware update, and it is very much just the 56K dial-up days for 4 hours.
Echoing through the whole office.
Yep. The poor night shift.
It's the animatronic gypsy on the boardwalk waiting for you to insert your 25 cents.
This is going to be so hard when I have to enter Reverie around him.
Good thing you didn't see him when he was
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that was fun. Anyway, we will drop off Oswick first.
Okay,
If Amber Bright's the closest, then yeah.
it would be. And so, yeah, Oswick, you're dropped off first. Tell us what your wind down process.
Assuming it's as I picture it with the normal thing, that he'd have just the single bedroom apartment, just kind of cluttered with books everywhere, barely like things strewn around from him having to, I don't know, not really care for himself, assuming he's been here for a couple days at least, and you know, Penny has been working for him. Tidy at the very least, and he'd just be sorting through books, maybe with a cup of tea or hot chocolate or something, and filing his reports, making sure they're in writing before getting some actual sleep, probably way too late.
Do you get your full 8 hours of rest in order to recover your spells then, Mr. Way Too Late? It actually
For the
is just
sake of
light
getting my
activity.
spells back, yes.
It is just light activity. Okay. So, yeah, Oswick, that's how you spend the rest of your evening, or bedding down. But we rewind time to the car, where the two officers are driving towards the pause. Is there any conversation that's had between the good boy and the best bot?
I don't say anything.
Just casually driving and like doing the like perfect like lane shifts between traffic without linking, or it's just like
Very smooth.
Yeah, it's
silent
perfectly
ride.
It should have the screeching sound, but it's so perfectly precise that it doesn't screech the tires at all, and you're going exactly the speed limit. Does Charles have anything to say?
No, it's probably a very quiet ride.
Nice.
Some smooth jazz playing on the radio.
Sure. What does your domicile look like, Charles?
Yeah, you get dropped off, Charles. What does your ending routine look like for the night?
So Charles lives in a worn-down apartment building. Very, but he goes up to his apartment, and it is a single bedroom. None of the furniture actually matches in like color of wood or anything like that. There's a broken down coat hanger near the door that he hangs up the blue cloak on. And he heads over to the bedroom where he opens the doors softly and walks in. And he looks down into a small crib where a little pit bull familiar lays sleeping.
Shit. I was going to make a joke about a half dozen pit bull familiar. Much more sweet.
Charles would smile, lean down and kiss the top of her head softly before leaving the room. And on the way out, you can probably see there are a couple old toys on the ground. He closes the door behind him, works on whatever reports he has to do on the kitchen table, then turns off the light in the room and falls asleep on the couch.
That was so sweet.
When when he opens the door to leave, like as he gets out of the car without making eye contact or looking at him or anything, hands still at 10 and 2, Cypher will just say, "Did excellent work today, officer," and then just leave.
After that, there'd probably be a little bit of a glare in Charles' eyes before he heads up.
And so, once again, the camera rewinds Charles's evening ending. We already kind of went over what Cypher's doing. Is there anything you wanted to add?
Yes. What time?
Precinct? It would be late. It probably would have taken probably 2 hours to drop both of them off and get back to the precinct.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus,
What time?
Let's see. You guys went out there bank late, so it's probably going on.
It was like 9 o'clock for the bank.
Yeah, it was probably like 9 o'clock for the bank. You probably would have waited about a half. No, I said it only took like 10 or 15 minutes to get there. It would have taken an hour to give your report and settle up there before leaving. So probably going on midnight.
Okay. In that case, I will.
And this all counts as light activity for purposes.
Okay, cool. In that case, I will go through for exactly 1 hour. Any open or discontinued case files involving the keywords for oozes, slimes, or other missing persons going back like 6 months.
Excellent. Give me an investigation with advantage because robot doing a search. Search the algorithm as a robot.
19.
Okay. So I will get you a more thorough list because this is something I didn't anticipate, but
Oh yeah, no problem.
But I appreciate it. So as you, let me write this down.
I will also write this down.
Okay.
Because Cypher has a robot brain. I do not.
Exactly. 6 months. Need to. Okay. The one that I did have planned to trickle information in, prepared right away. Amongst a number of articles, well, not a number, but as you go back 6 months, you're looking through all the instances of magical incursions and monstrous entities that may have cropped up throughout the city. You filter it down to just narrow down to oozes, and it drops like the search from like the hundreds to double digits. And the one that is the most recent dates back like probably like 2 months. Dates back 2 months, and it talks about a dispute between the sewer miners guild and the city about how kobolds of the sewer miners guild, they basically have been getting killed off by creatures that were attacking them up from the depths. And it's fairly common knowledge that in larger cities like this, kobolds are allowed to reside within the sewers and the subterranean areas because they are very good at digging and maintaining these underground warrens. And so, the expense is they can live there in peace and not get, killed, as if they were goblins. But the trade-off is they have to maintain and handle the sewer works of the city. So there was a dispute about how the Blue Cloaks were not taking the instances of guild member disappearances throughout various points in the sewers, but it largely seemed to be centralized in an area that is called the Fang, and it's called the Fang because of it is where the sewer guild is centralized. It's not anything related to the Paws. It's just where they make their warrens. But it, largely their nesting sites have been attacked, and they reported that numbers of young were getting abducted and taken. But the investigations weren't really pulling up anything because nobody wanted to go down there and look into it. But that was the most recent one, and but that reference just kind of led to talks about the oozes, not necessarily the family.
Okay.
But I'll get more on that because that's
Yeah.
interesting, and I want to do it. I want to give you more for that, especially because I like that investigation.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well then, yeah. After I've done that for approximately 1 hour, then I will return to my desk. Oh no, I will change my shirt because it is burned from where I used magic missile. So I will change my shirt, and then I will go to my desk, sit down, and enter my sentry's rest. Power down for exactly 6 hours, and be ready to work.
Engage.
Yeah, be ready to work for 7 a.m.
Alrighty. And then time rewinds again, and we go back to the palace where a bath has been drawn for Lee. And Lee, what is your closing activities for the evening?
I just sink into the water and start speaking in Elvish. At least they have water here. And I will enjoy my bath. And probably later, once I have, robes on and everything before I enter referee, I'm gonna go sit at a desk and start writing in a little book.
So before that, when you return to your room, the first thing you notice is there's a note waiting for you under your door.
I will pick it up and read it.
You see that the parchment is elegant, and not the kind of elegant stationery that you would find at a human desk. This is the recycled plant matter that's pressed into fine elven papercraft and written in a perfectly biodegradable, cruelty-free ink that is known of the Saint of Fate, because it's all about protecting the animals. Propaganda. 100% cruelty, bro. But it is written in an elven script, and the note basically reads, to Lady Ethelinda, it is my pleasure to hear that another delegate has arrived from our homeland. You are cordially invited to attend a dinner on behalf of the Wood Elven diplomat. Their name is something something elf. I'll have for you in a moment because I'm making this up on the fly. But it is, they give you their name, and you probably have heard the name before, given that your family's connection with the royal family and all things that the Saint of Fate have to do. But this is a diplomat that regularly makes their way out here as well, and their position is very different from yours, where you fully know that you are just a political hostage that for all intents and purposes was exchanged to help prevent an onset of war. This person is responsible for helping to kind of broker that peace on the long term, and while their family has a history of being warhawks, this person is very much like you, where they are trying very, very hard to prevent another full-scale war. But they invite you to attend a dinner that will be happening as their guest. It is happening at the palace tomorrow evening, but they want you to come, as their +1 instead of just, not having an invitation at all. Make that name. And then continue with what you were going to.
Well, how very interesting. I'll fold it up and tuck it away. I actually probably set it on my on the corner of my desk. Then I'll pull out a little book, write about the events of the day, and some theories, some thoughts about what's happening. And then as I'm writing about the mask with the abyssal script, I kind of like stop there and I'll close it. And when I go to my bed and start to trance, I'm going to try and focus on Arvindor and hope I get some kind of hopeful sense of peace, I guess.
Okay. And so, yeah, you focus and try and draw in that tranquility, and your night is relatively peaceful. And I have come up with a name. They are called Theodon Feedgas. Sadly, Woody Elfington was
Rip. Woody Elfington is actually a half-orc barbarian.
I believe that.
I would too.
I mean, if Munchkin is to be believed, Bruzy McBeardton is just an elf wearing the fake beard card, and he's just trying to blend in as well. So, yeah,
there you go.
Woody Elfington could just be an orc, dressed in leaves and fake pointy ears. Yeah, good.
After my 4 hours, I'm just gonna pour through whatever books I have available, learn whatever I can from what's available to me. I don't think they'll let me leave the palace at night.
I mean, you can certainly try.
I might wander a little bit.
That's
what I'll do. I will wander and explore the grounds.
Where do you aim to wander?
It wouldn't be wandering if I knew where I was going.
Not all who wander are lost.
That's true.
So
it's right here on my wristband.
Yeah. Is it really?
Yeah.
Metal.
It is metal.
There you go.
Literally.
I will. I will get. I'll see if there's I'll see if there's any gardens or anything. I'll probably explore a few different rooms that seem open. I'll see if there's a library on site. I'll see if there's a little hedge mage or maze or anything like that.
Okay.
Just learn the layout.
You find that it's not easy to get outside of the main building at this hour. There are guards posted at the doors. But looking through, you do find that there is a rather large library. You're not allowed down the wing that would lead to where the royal family is. So you're down a guest wing. As far from murdering the royal family as possible. We wouldn't want that to happen. An elf killing the royal family.
Fully capable of it.
Again.
Completely.
Not again. It hasn't happened yet. Or at all. But yeah, you're not allowed access down the wing where the royal family is, but you do find that there are... It's a multi-storied palace that lets you traverse a number of areas. You find the kitchen rather large, and there are still servants who are up at this hour, still preparing for the meals that would be feeding the guards and the other workers and the family throughout the next day. They don't pay you any mind. They're not paid to do so. But as you look and explore, you find that there are a few more interesting places, little halls with vast portraits of the various kings. Give me a perception check as you make your way down this hall of artwork.
Yeah.
10 or a 10. You look down this hall and you notice that there's an interesting theme going on with the way that the kings and queens are portrayed. They all look very regal, and as you go down, it kind of works in that descending order where the most recent ones are towards the entrance and the eldest ones are further back, and it seems to go down for a couple hundred years. And you're noticing that a lot of the kings look similar. They have the same kind of distinguishing features: dark hair, strong jaws, regal looking figure. But outside of that, you're not placing anything odd about them, especially with a 10 or a 10. But there are some noticeable similarities, but they're human, so it doesn't really stick out much. But as you're looking, you notice that for the current portraits of the royal family, you see that it has a picture of the king, the half-elven queen, the two daughters, the eldest son, the half-elven queen, the two sons, the daughter, and then off to one side close by, but kind of opposite of the king and more close to where the queen is, but still a step away to show that he's not an immediate part of the royal family, is an additional man, dressed rather finely, but has more of a magey appearance to him. The clothes look nice, but kind of disheveled, like somebody had forced him to put on his good clothes.
Oh, I think I know who this is, but can I make a history check?
You're wrong. It's Bryn.
Yeah, you're wrong. It's clearly Bryn.
Bryn in his bathrobe. Done.
Canon. Make a history.
Damn it.
Now,
Oh.
it's neat. Cool that you recognize him, or that you notice this, but yeah.
Now, does he look about the same age as the king? Or younger?
He looks to be probably about the same age as the queen.
Well, I don't in character know who this is.
Nope, you sure don't.
I'm going to have to come back and visit this place. And then I will peruse the library.
Okay. And so you spend the night perusing the library. But morning comes for everyone. I imagine that the two of you Charles the good boy and Oswick. Almost called you old. Oswick, that other person with an O name that is a caster. Oswick, you two make your way back to the police station where you find... Flipped her name to Keavah. Cypher. You find Cypher booting up for his morning routine. You hear, well, as his lights flicker on.
He's got a solid state drive. It happens fast.
Yeah.
Greetings, officers.
Detective.
Good morning, Charles. Cypher.
Officer.
I trust your rest was sufficient.
Yes, it was well needed.
Good.
Charles just gives a nod.
How was your night, Cypher?
It was as expected. I would like to address our current tasks at hand. Both of you are able to listen.
Yes.
Certainly.
Currently, we have two obvious objects of interest. One is this investigation involving this perceived cult. The other is to ensure the safety of the Elven dignitary. Designation: isolate.
Correct.
Oswick, do you believe, in your opinion, that we will be able to accomplish these things? You have the most experience with this dignitary.
I believe she's a handful, she's willful, and she will want to remain involved in this case until it is ended. She likes helping people.
Killer.
Very well. Do you suggest containment?
I'm not sure that would be wise either.
If the Elven dignitary is harmed or killed, all three of us, yea, even the city itself, may find it in dire straits.
Probably kick off a war.
Yes, you have a point.
You are the senior officer of this task force. I will yield to your judgment.
I'm also the most recent addition to any sort of law enforcement.
I am aware of your record, officer. My statement stands.
Yes, we could try and keep her away from this investigation if that is the safest measure.
I would like to spend time assessing her emotional and mental stability. If it appears possible that she can safely progress on this case, then we will allow it.
Then I defer to your expertise on that matter.
Very well. Do you have access to her schedule?
As her personal assignment, we should. I do not know how much of a schedule that one keeps, but we can ask her of it once we get there.
Good.
We should also check to see if any files were forwarded from last night.
Indeed. I did research before my sleep cycle was engaged. we can discuss our findings in the car.
Then after you, Cypher.
I will stand up and start walking towards my vehicle.
Oh god, he hasn't stood up for that whole conversation.
No, I've just been sitting there.
Legs are gonna be so asleep.
His head didn't even move, did it?
No, his head moved.
Oh, okay.
Just nothing else. Absolutely
it did a
nothing
full
else.
180 turn to have the conversation.
No, it
with
was
them.
just a full turn to the side. I don't have bones. Great.
I just picture that, like, when you stand up and turn, your head doesn't move. It still stays facing one direction.
Oh yeah, no, Cypher moves very segmentedly. Like if it doesn't have to move, it doesn't move. He does not. There is no air of being human looking at Cypher.
This is why he scares Lee.
It's fine. Anyway, you guys want to go to the car?
Yes.
Then we go to the car. We get in the car. Then we go to the house.
The intent of Royal House.
Indeed.
So then we'll zoom in on Lee's morning routine. Lee, what do you do in the morning while they're making their commute?
Still not allowed outside?
No, as a matter of fact, you are allowed outside.
Oh.
You just can't
Is
go out
there-
at night. That's
Is there a
That's what-
hedge maid's?
make a perception check. Make a survival check. No. There you go. That roll earlier.
I know. That would have been really helpful.
Yes, there is in fact a quite massive hedge maid.
I will go training in there
Alrighty.
and do wood elf stuff.
Yeah. So you disappear into the hedge maze. There are probably like a couple guards that watch the entrance of it, and they make note of your going inside. But do me a favor, make 3 survival checks, please. Okay. So when you first start going into this maze, it's fairly straightforward. You go down, you have the option of turning left or right, and then you have an option of going forward, left or right, and then just the option of going right, and then left or right, and then forward, and then right, and then left or right, then right or left, and then forward, right, left, forward. It keeps going until you find that you wander deep into the maze, and every so often, when you make these turns, you find that you walk into dead ends. But as you continue on, the hedges are very high. These are probably about 10 or 12 feet high, so you can't see over top of them. And they're dense green foliage that you can't force your way through, even as an elf, just because of the way they're grown. And a few of them have, vines creeping up over top them. But every so often, as you go through these dead ends, you find things like little benches to sit or a fountain. But before long, you find your way to what you believe is the center of it. And at the center, the morning sun has dimmed quite a bit. And instead, it seems like the area is in like a perpetual twilight. And there's it's not a fountain, but it's like a small little moat with a little bridge with a tiny man-made island that holds a gazebo. And it's open to one side where the bridge is, and framed with like the little railing around it. And at the center of this gazebo there is what looks like a little altar.
I run up to it.
Of course you do.
I roll to attack the gazebo.
Thank you, Mark. Like, I love that there was no hesitation from her. So Shay has to make a new character because the mimic gazebo has just destroyed her. But no, you run up to this shrine, and you see that it is basically a very nondescript looking shrine. There's the depiction of a kneeling, androgynous looking figure. The carving of the clothing doesn't give any indication of what gender they might be. Their face is obscured by a mask, and there's a place to leave an offering, and there is a placard at the front that is written in script that you do not recognize.
Not Celestial or Sylvan or Elvish or Rolian. Is there any indication as to what kind of offerings are made?
No.
Well then. Are there any like wildflowers growing out of the vines or anything along the hedge?
Make a perception check. Yes. For a fact, there are a number of vibrant-looking purple flowers growing just on the outskirts of before the moat.
Knowing that flowers will fall off and blossom, I will take one, and then I will take 10 gold, and I'll set the flower in the center of the offering place, and then I'll set the 10 gold in a circle around it.
Give me wisdom saving throw. Good. You feel your mind go fuzzy for the briefest of moments, and then when you look back at the placard, you see that the script has started to unscramble itself and start to make words.
I think I'm done here. I turn and leave. No, I actually read it.
I was going to be very disappointed in you. You start to see that it says, I have keys that open no locks. I have space, but there is no room. You can enter, can't go in.
Oh!
Put down Google.
I don't need Google. This one's basic. I got you, bitch.
Can you type that out for me?
No.
You can type
me
that out.
basic.
And a bitch, but
Yeah.
basic was worse.
It's true.
I'm gonna feel so bad if I can't figure it out.
Everyone laugh at the elf who can't do riddles.
You can't do the riddles.
This
I'm
is why
just
she was
saying,
banished
fuck
from her
riddles.
homeland. Can't have a Disney princess that doesn't do riddles.
Hey, I can get animals to
She can
To
get animals
talk
to
to me.
fight for her.
So can a ranger, and they're a ranger. I rest my
That's-
case.
That's too literal. Copy. I have key. But open.
Keys, but no locks. Space, but no room.
I'm gonna message Morph to see if we have the same answer.
And you can enter, but not go in.
There you go. That's what I actually. And keep in mind the time period you're in.
Ah. Like a computer.
No.
No.
In fact, that's the opposite.
Huh?
That is the wrong time period.
Okay.
I mean, you're close, but that's wrong.
There's a robot.
I am made of magic
You're made of magic.
and brain juice. Maybe, I don't know. It's weird. It's complicated.
And
A series
dwarf
of
bits.
tubes. A series of tubes. This is high stakes.
This is high stakes. You don't even know.
I have to figure it out.
You're gonna fucking
You have-
die.
You have triggered my OC.
You're gonna get it. I believe in you. Gently phone a friend. Thank you, Frost. Shouldn't have phones.
We have one ascending.
Oh, that's fair.
Rip.
Morph has ascending, but he ain't there.
Yeah, you don't give magic items.
Did you get it, Sage?
Oh no, I'm not even trying.
Oh, fair enough. It's a
Charles
riddle I
won't, so
have
I
to.
won't.
Fucking. My robot brain was like, it is time.
But it's not like computer or machinery.
Well,
You can't ask the statue.
that's fair. Yeah. Okay. No, I'm gonna let
Have
you.
you
get
tried
this.
asking the statue?
That's true. You could try asking. That's fair.
That's fair. Would you like to phone a statue?
I look at the statue and ask that question.
Try and slip it another gold. See if it gives you a.
I put in another gold.
Oh no. I mean, no,
See.
that doesn't help.
No,
but I'm immune.
I can figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah, what you got? Believe in yourself and
Well-
anything is possible.
I was gonna start going through like different computer stuff.
There are no computers in this world.
I know, but that's what my brain keeps going to.
God, I want to help. It hurts. It's okay. Whenever we get there, me and Morph will robot the answer. It'll be fine.
Typewriter.
Hey.
Miracles do happen.
I had to think of time period so much.
Elise says that out loud.
I do.
Great. So you triumphantly announce typewriter, and I need another wisdom save, please. Excellent. As you announce typewriter, see that the mask in front of the statue starts to shift, and where the blank visage of the mask, a A purple eye made of flame appears and blinks, looking at you.
Hello.
A voice emanates from your mind. Hello! Are you the one who established the connection?
I think so.
Well, it's not every day that somebody is smart enough to figure out the riddle.
It was a very clever riddle.
I imagine that if Oswick was here, he would have gotten it much sooner.
Oh, this was for Oswick?
No. I'm just saying.
Do you know Oswick?
I don't.
Oh. Who am I speaking to, by the way?
That's a great question.
I'm Azalee.
Nice to meet you, Azalee Ithelinda, Princess of the Sainafade Empire.
Oh, you know who I am.
Sort of.
What's that mean?
Yes,
That's confusing.
I know. Life is full of confusing contradictions.
Do you know what you are?
I do. I also
Could
know
you-
what I'm not.
Could you tell me what you are?
I could.
Will you?
No.
Please?
Well, since you asked nicely, I'm a god.
Oh. Oh. Really?
Yeah, small world, isn't it?
Wow. That's
Did it just blow your mind completely?
a little bit.
Well, that's good. Normally people bow.
Oh, am I supposed to?
I suppose.
Okay. I will give a curtsy and bow.
That's much more respectable.
What god am I speaking to?
I don't know. What would you like to call me?
I'm tempted to say Bingus. But I will not. Hmm. Hmm. Ooh, naming's hard. How about... I mean, it's an eye, and it's purple, and that's what I'm seeing. Do you not want to be called anything? Anything specific? You just want me to name?
Well, I was more just kind of gauging your free thinking and independence, but you seem really unsure of your answers of late.
Well, I was going to say Etty.
I'm sorry?
I was going to say Etty.
I still didn't follow that.
Etty.
I
It's
suppose.
short and easy to speak, and it sounds actually kind of pleasant.
I suppose that's true. Maybe. I will consider this.
Or, or if you want something more elaborate, Survey.
I feel like you're just making these up as you go.
No, it means vision. Would you just like to be called Vision?
I think... No. But Sorvy is good.
Survey.
I
Survey.
think that's copyright.
Is it?
Oh, no, the vision part.
Oh, I'm not actually a robot.
I will call you Survey then.
Very well. For to know my true name would invoke the deepest of madness. Probably.
So, what are you doing in the center of a hedge maze?
Waiting for someone to find me.
Well, now that someone found you, what do you want to do?
Well, I'm very glad that you released me. I feel like you should be rewarded for your effort.
Kind of like tilt my head curiously.
What is the one thing you desire most in this world?
Hmm.
God damn it, Keavah.
I mean, he's not wrong.
I'm sorry.
It's much more complex than the 1920s fantasy society. They had to actually think about it instead of Googling Morph.
I don't like the insinuation that I googled this.
You're the only person I can throw it at. her Ark didn't even try to answer it.
To be fair, Charles wouldn't try.
Yeah. Charles is like, bitch, I already know this answer.
I don't get paid enough for this.
Yep. What's the one thing you desire most in this world?
Wow. There's a lot of things I desire. I don't usually think about that.
Well, if you had to pick your top favorite, what would it be? And all the while, it is just a eye made of purple flame that just every so often blinks or shifts about and looks around the area, but mostly seems focused on you.
Well, peace for my land would be nice.
Is that your final answer?
Well, I mean, I haven't met Toby, so currently, yes.
The eye kind of considers and says, I'm not sure who this Toby is, but he sounds swell.
He is the perfect boy.
Well, I mean, Charles is a good boy, but we haven't met Toby yet. So, I guess I'll have to take your word for it. For now, it's peace for your lands. And you see
Wow.
do you see the eye close for a moment, but there's still like the outline of flame that looks like it's just the eyelid had closed. And it's a briefest moment, and then the eye opens back up and says, Done! Congratulations. You will soon have peace, and you will be happy. You will enjoy your... Goddamn Keavah. It is done. Breaking news. Xenofate wiped off the planet.
You don't wish for peace.
It's done. Congratulations. You will have peace for your land. I hope you are happy with this. And then the eye closes and the statue goes inert once more. Give me one more perception check, please. Fantastic. You look back at the plaque and you see that the riddle is gone, and the words written in Rallian, actually written in Celestial, it just says, it only says one word. It just says a name, Typhon.
Says what?
Just says a name, Kyphon.
Ow.
Ren, you. Oh. Okay. Do I know what that word name is?
Religion check. Your study into human culture digs in that Kyphon is the trickster god of the Pantheon of the Eight for Ralia, or for the Federated States of Ralia. You also remember that there are similar qualities of this god to the elven god Bad Wolf, as in they're both tricksters, and they tend to be benevolent in the sense that they'll give what you want if it amuses them, but they're just as easily to twist your desires and give double-edged rewards in order to teach a lesson. And you're kind of wondering if that might have happened now, but who's to say? Ryan is a nerd. And also there's the implication that you release them, Mark.
That what?
That you release them, question mark?
Yep, I'm going to kind of like narrow my eyes at that and be like, I hope I didn't just get tricked by a Fey god, and like hop up and I will start making my way back to the castle, and I will seek out someone of the royal family.
Okie dokie. It's about this time that the trio pull in the area, or pull into the parking area of the royal manor. And when you all arrive, you see that Tressia, the head maid, is there waiting for you all to arrive, and
Yeah,
she
for posterity's sake, I will have, during the ride over, I would have given them all the information
Oh, absolutely.
that I had.
It is a surprisingly not quiet conversation on the ride as you download all of the information into their brain receptacles via your magic. There, you all now have the knowledge. I'm sure that's a thing you can do, right?
I mean, yeah, I just gotta get my fist into their skull and touch their brain.
There you go.
I can do that in a few levels.
Yeah.
Give me time.
Just fist their brain holes. Fine.
Yeah. Wait till I get Brain Boy mode. That'll be great.
Brain blast. All right.
Anyway.
So she gives her typical bow of a greeting, and she says, "Oh, you all have arrived just as expected. That's good. Lady Ethelinda has been amusing herself in the garden."
Well, that is good to hear, and good morning to you, Oscar.
Good morning, Oswald. I hope you slept well.
Well enough.
And Charles, you look rested as well. Did I get you all anything while you're waiting, or are you going to head out right now to go find her?
We were actually wondering if the lady had a schedule or anything, like the royal family needed her for events or some such, if they had any planning on where she should be.
Well, she hasn't inquired on that herself, but as a matter of fact, there will be a dinner later tonight that we've been given word that she is going to be attending. Of course, you're all invited there as well as her attachés, bodyguard. Have to be.
Very well then. Beyond that, then yes, we will go and join her and inquire further later on about everything else.
Very good. And with that, she'll let you all head out into the garden. And you all arrive just as she's exiting out of the hedge maze.
I am vaulting. I run right by.
Vaults right by you.
And there she goes.
I turn and look at Oswick and just say, stability analysis begins promptly.
Yeah.
Charles is just going to follow her back and.
Yep.
Yeah, we follow.
Alrighty. Where are you heading, Lee?
Do I see Tresia?
You do make your way past her as she's going about her duty. Yes.
So as I go past, I stop, I skid to a halt, spin around, run up to her. Do you know where the royal family is?
Well, the young lady is currently with her tutors. Young lord is fencing lessons. The prince is handling some matters of state, and king and queen have parted for the weekend to their getaway cottage.
Did you know that you had a god imprisoned in the headmaid?
She looks past Lee towards the three of you, and you see that, like, slow head turn, almost a full rotation clockwise, and she just kind of glances at the three of you and says, "No, I wasn't aware of such a fanciful notion. Wherever could she have come up with such a thought?"
Well, I went into the head mage and found the center and found a offering place. Made an offering. Then unreadable text became readable, and it was a riddle. And then I answered the riddle, and then it released a purple eye and asked what I should name. So I named it, and then I actually had to think about it for a moment, but I named it Sorvi, and it asked me what I wanted. So then I said, oh well, I kind of would like peace for the land, and then it closed its eye, and then opened it, and then said, it's done, it's going to happen, and then disappeared, and then instead of any riddle or anything on the plaque, it read Keavah, which I believe is a god of Ralia, a trickster god. But it actually has some similarities with one of the wild gods. Anyway, do you know anything about that?
I can't say that I do. But my, what a fanciful imagination.
It's...
Charles and Oswick would definitely see me taking notes in a small pad as she's talking.
Asley, did you eat anything weird this morning?
Only the food you have here. I'm serious. There is a purple eye in the center of the hedge maze. It's not there anymore. I let it out.
You let out the purple eye in the hedge, mate.
I didn't know there was a purple eye in there.
And you did this by solving some moving text riddle?
Yes.
Okay. Are you running a fever? Should we get a caretaker?
I like throw my hands up and I start. I go looking for the prince.
Charles will just follow.
Yeah, I follow with my notepad.
It's same.
So, I'll head off. And it's probably not hard to find him. Just in one of the staterooms where there are a couple of advisors going over the day-to-day runnings of the area. But it's not long before you burst in. And what did I say his name was? It's been a while. Charles? No, you're Charles.
Tristan or
No, it wasn't Tristan. It was...
that started with a T.
Some of my notes are gone.
Thaddeus is the king.
There's Thaddeus, Theodore.
Theodore was the younger brother. What was
There we go.
Was he Theodore or was it the younger brother?
That he was Theodore.
My notes are half erased. I don't know. I am missing all the names of the royal family and probably more names.
Well, no, you have Theodore Rawl right here.
I do,
Or
but I
two
don't
later.
have the rest.
Oh.
Was anyone given names besides the king and Theodore?
I don't think so. Probably not. You would know them, though. Note to self. Actually, I think I did give you their names. I remember writing them down at some point. I probably gave them to you.
I'm pretty sure I wrote them down too.
Hold on, let's do it right now. That way we have it, because I need to have you have this. Did I name the queen in the first version? Oh well.
Ooh.
That I don't remember.
Beatrice. Her name is Beatrice. Alright, Theodore Rawl, king, or crown prince. And there's a naming convention to all the males. Another T.
It is all THs.
Toby.
No.
Thumpus.
Rombor. Thackeray. Yikes. Thor. Theobald? Wow, that's bad. Theodore.
I already did Theodore.
No. Ah, damn it, I
Yep.
did.
Wow.
They're both named Theodore.
They're
It
both
just gets
named
confusing.
Theodore.
All right,
come on,
I'm gonna
guys.
make
This
this
is
easy for.
this
All right,
big-
buddy, I'll stop dicking around. Thaddeus, Jesus Christ.
Thaddeus is the king.
No, Thaddeus Jr., the second.
Thaddeus the second of his
Yeah.
name.
Terrible.
Small Thaddeus.
God, how about Charles?
It's Thaddeus and Daddius.
How about God? That's even better. How about Thanos? Can we call him Thanos?
Little baby Thanos.
Little baby Thanos. They thought it was weird. He came out purple. That's really all the TH name. Well,
Thorpe.
THOT. Thought.
Thrombone.
There is Theon. Theon is listed as a name.
Theon's not bad.
Yeah.
Theon, Thelen.
Yeah, just go with Theon.
Theon. I like Theon. Works.
Yeah.
Theon Greyjoy.
Shh. I was trying not to say it and just go with how cool it sounded?
Yeah, just let it happen. It's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's fine.
Dion's
He's gonna
fine.
get his dick ripped off later. It's fine. There, it's out in the open now. So,
Boom, did it.
then, baby names, help me. Raylan.
Tabitha?
Only the males have the T.
Cherry?
Raylan. Alright. Who's Azuvir?
I don't know. My notes are missing.
Alright. Cool. I don't remember who Azuvir. Anybody that name strike a bell, anyone?
Nah, man, I ain't got nothing.
Alrighty. Well, there you go. The royal family officially have names. Thaddeus is the king. Beatrice is the queen. Somebody... Did you erase that I put the notes that she's a half-elf? Okay.
No.
Well, Roll20 is just deleting notes as I put them in. Yeah, it just deleted Theon and Braylon's information, too.
Holy shit.
That is weird.
What the hell?
It's cutting off it, like, not all of the information, just parts of it. Okay. There. On.
I'm not gonna touch it.
Yeah, like, hold on, because that's weird. That it even changed the way her name is spelled. That's not right either. Nobody else has access to your sheet.
Not that I'm aware of.
No, at all. Nobody else has access to your sheet. That is weird. So, you saw that Braylon was spelled differently, right?
I'm not touching it right now.
But you
Right,
saw
hands are up.
you saw it a moment ago that it was spelled differently
There it
too.
is.
So, guys, the way I cut and paste, the way it's spelled is Braelyn. When we flipped back to it, it was spelled Bralin.
Wild.
And all of the notes that I inputted on her details were deleted. I'm scared. This game is haunted. Okay.
Clearly.
I'm gonna close my side so nothing glitches on it, and we'll check back on that a little later.
Okay.
I'm gonna check it on this side. Okay, weird. Oh, it's still there. This end. Cool. Alright, I'm gonna close that down. Right. So, Theodore is working in a stateroom with a couple of advisors. They're going over some reports and documents. He's essentially handling the courtly duties while his parents are out on a weekend getaway. But it's not long before your entrance is noticed, and the advisors kind of go quiet, and they all turn and look at you. And Theodore is like, "Ah, good. I was wondering where you had gotten off to, and I didn't see you yesterday."
I've been busy.
Good. I'm happy to hear that you are keeping yourself busy and out of trouble.
Well, did you know that there's or was, some kind of entity in the middle of, the hedge maze?
The advisors all start whispering to each other and looking at you suspiciously. Theodore kind of is like, powerful entity trapped within a hedge maze, you say? Sounds like the stuff of fairy tales. How fantastical! Two elven imaginations. Oh, different. I like it.
My ears just wilt. There is something there.
Can you three corroborate this?
We cannot.
No, she was very animated when we came in, but other than that...
We only got here a few minutes ago.
Perhaps you're imagining things, my dear. The hedge maze tends to play tricks on those who get lost within it. Perhaps you are just having an overactive imagination.
Maybe because there's a trickster, or was a trickster in there. And is no longer.
What do you mean no longer? There's more whispers from the advisors as they're looking at you.
I answered a riddle and seem to have let it out.
He looks at the three of you again.
Charles just shakes his head.
The situation occurred before we were on the scene.
Interesting.
You all have been dealing with my people for a long time now. You haven't seen spirits or anything of that sort?
Well, I imagine that such a thing is superstitious nonsense. Not many things like that happen around here. At least not
Deities.
that the...
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, he was going to say outside of the normal monsters that the BRD handle.
Deities
Or
and
ARD.
extraplanar beings are indeed a fact. I believe what is coming called into question, Miss Isley, is your mental credibility.
Well, I'm not disputing the power of the gods. We all know that the Eight watch over and protect us. The advisors kind
Indeed.
of...
They do not believe you.
And do the eight ever answer people?
Of course, clerics wield powerful magics to keep our soldiers alive. And the townspeople.
Well, after I had solved the riddle and it disappeared, all that's left now is a plaque reading Keavah.
Also, do remember that he was there when you all fought an angel on the rooftop. So
I did see that.
yeah, he's
None of
not...
us were there, though.
No, but Lee...
Well, was.
Well, two of you were. But Lee wouldn't know that. He was there, and he's not doubting the existence of gods. He was just like, "Oh, you released a spirit. Cool. Great." And the advisors are like, "Why is this elf letting things loose in our palace?"
Why are they keeping things sealed up in it?
When you say Kaifon, one of the advisors finally says, "That is enough. My lord, you're not going to really humor this nonsense. She claims to release a terrible trickster god on us? What is this Saint-of-Fate spy actually after?"
What are you doing keeping a trickster god in there? And I would like to insight check him. See if he actually has any knowledge of this thing in his...
I like that Lee immediately goes, "Pay no attention to the fact that I released a trickster god. Why are you keeping a trickster god imprisoned?" Please, insight.
You burned out the camp. Why were you trying to have a fire?
He genuinely seems suspicious of you, and the fact that you are openly admitting to releasing a spirit / god / bound entity and being very open about it. So he's kind of not sure where to place you and what you're actually doing.
I didn't know what I was letting out.
And it seems like the feeling of the room as you look over everybody is that they are casting unsure glances at you, and all of the whispers seem to be about whether or not they can trust this elf that just recently arrived and is now letting out dangerous spirits on the palace grounds.
DM,
Mm-hmm.
can I do just like a quick 360 observation? Do we have? I assume there were guards and things like that in this
course.
big ass chamber.
Mhm.
Do they? Can I get a read on like what their state is currently?
Certainly. Perception check, please.
Oh no, I don't have perception. 6.
Joining in on this since Charles is here to guard.
What's that?
Can I join in on this check?
Sure, you may also make a check. Doing your panoramic view kind of makes it a little harder. You get the big picture, but you aren't able... Wow, okay. Oswick, you want to take a shot crack at this too?
I think we're all kind of...
We're not the wise party.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
Is it, though?
If I'm getting perception to dogpile, then
Yeah, I mean, you can take a look around. There you go. So, Oswick, as you notice that your companions are kind of looking around to gauge the feeling of the other blue cloaks that are here watching things, they seem to be on alert because this is kind of escalating into a situation, but none of them are moving to draw weapons or anything because they know who you guys are, and they know who Lee is, and they know that she's the prince's consort, but until she does anything that might be detrimental to his well-being, they're not really acting, or they're not really acting until he deems it necessary for them to do so. They're very much being the not the courtroom, the court guards. There you go, with that minus the room part. They're there to be a sentry presence, and they don't move until it's absolutely necessary.
You know, if you keep spirits / gods sealed up in things, you should probably have like little notices that say, "Hey, there's something there." And if you don't want to let it out, you say, "Don't answer that riddle."
My lord, she's clearly deranged. There's no gods locked away in the... Where did you say that? Hedge maze? And Theodore kind of shakes his head and he says, is anyone able to corroborate this story? It sounds fanciful, like I said earlier. I'm not sure about this. Lee, why don't you show us this shrine?
Okay. And I will lead them.
Do the three of you follow?
Yes.
Yes.
Alrighty. Lee.
Notebook ready.
Lee.
We are here to guard Lee.
3 survival rolls, please.
Do I get advantage because I did this before?
No.
Hello?
Welcome back.
No,
Hello?
welcome back.
Okay.
3 survival rolls. 1. Wow, okay.
Hey!
All right.
Do I have it memorized now?
No.
Damn it.
Because what you actually needed to do, roll the same number. No, not really. You are confident in your movements. When you start moving, you go left, then right, then forward, then right, then left, then forward, right, right, left, left, right, forward, right, left, right, forward. And you probably take less time than you had before because you feel like you did in fact have it down. But when you cross over into what you feel is the center of this hedge maze, it is a mid-morning sun that is shining down over this open courtyard area, complete with a little moat and a bridge, leads to a gazebo that has a pleasant-looking lounge chair on it.
Statue's gone.
Uh-huh.
I fall face first in the grass.
Oh.
I make a note.
The advisors all seem to be whispering to each other, and Theodore kneels down to kind of help you up. He says,
I
How
swear
long
it was here.
How long exactly had you been in this maze? Perhaps you were just disoriented.
I don't think purple fiery talking eyes are something that I would hallucinate.
All of the Brawlians take a moment to look at each other after what you said.
Hey, Dunga Master.
If
Can I do an insight check to determine whether or not Lee believes what she is saying?
Are you going to walk up and do a polygraph on her as a...
No,
Oh.
but I'm an empathy bot, and this
That's the
seems
same
like
thing.
a thing I should... Yeah, but I don't gotta touch her. I've just
No.
been listening to her.
I didn't say
with her
punch her,
weird
I
speech
said do
patterns.
a polygraph.
No,
you
I don't want to touch her. Nah,
Oh,
I've just
touch her.
listened to like her speech patterns and all the weird shit.
Yeah, sure, go for it.
I mean,
I don't know, hard
You
to
know-
read. Fucking
you-
elves.
You
It's
believe...
the accent.
Yeah, I mean, you're not really proficient in studying elves, but you get the sense that she believes what she saw. Whether or not
Ozzy's
it's
going to check.
truthful, you're not sure.
Okay.
Ozzy's gonna check to see if she's running a feed.
Yeah, please.
I'm
How you feeling,
fine.
Lee?
Frustrated and annoyed that I cannot prove anything, but fine. Satisfied.
Well, not really. I was kind of hoping that I could get a wish granted from this mysterious being that you saw as well. That's what genies do, right? He kind of looks to the three of you.
I don't know what that thing was, but there was something there, and I swear it was there,
Of course.
and it's gone.
Darling, I believe that you believe it was there. Most supportive.
Yeah, I do kind of wilt at that.
Well, I think that this has been a productive break. He kind of looks at the advisors. We should probably get back to work before the delegates arrive for dinner. They all kind of nod, and they're like, yes, my lord, this distraction has gone on long enough.
As the prince's party leaves, Charles will just say, "Have a good day, my lord."
I trail behind them.
And we follow behind that.
Okay. And so you all just kind of take that time to make your way out. Lee, before you go, give me one perception check.
Damn it.
Planes. So many planes.
I'm so glad that you are in big brain mode. As the four of you walk out, the camera kind of pans in on a single violet flower that is at the back of the gazebo that would have been out of sight. But you all make your way out of the hedge bank.
So I did not see it.
Nope. Rolled an
Okay.
8, dear. I love you, but you rolled an 8.
Hey, some things are a DC 5.
That's fair. Probably not noticing something behind a big
Oswick and Charles would probably notice that I have about 2 pages written so far.
Oh, he's been writing. Yeah. So you guys have some time before Lee needs to present herself at this dinner.
I must compose a letter.
And what is this letter? Hey. Besides ghost dogs.
It will include. It will include some of the things I saw, some of my efforts to try and help people, including some of the ooze stuff. I will leave out the part of me getting attacked. And my experience with this Keavah.
Okay, so you spend some time composing this letter.
I address it to my family.
Alrighty. Then what?
I need to send a letter.
Just to the 3 of you.
I am sure we will be able to give this to the appropriate staff. And I hold out my hand.
Can I just send it with like one of the druids or something?
That does not match royalty protocol.
It has a wax seal. I hand it over.
You are a foreign dignitary, sending a private letter. I am sure it will need to be inspected. Thank you. And I will turn, and I assume the head maid lady is nearby, right?
She is.
Yeah, I just hand it to her.
And she smiles and bows, and she... Don't worry, Lady Ethelinda. Your correspondence will arrive to your family. But yes, he's correct. They might have to do just a brief skimming of it, but they will reseal the seal, and your privacy will be upheld.
There is also some some just stuff about like how I'm doing and asking about my family and worry and missing and all that stuff.
Yep. And so she goes to take off the letter. I think, given that we need to wrap up shortly, we'll jump into...
We have 45 minutes.
We do not. We have to wrap up early because of Morph's doctor's appointment.
We have 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, because Morph. We need our Morph to live.
We do. We absolutely need Morph to
We
live.
love Morph.
Players in this campaign are dropping like flies. He needs to live.
It's not Descent into Avernus, though. Boy, howdy. Morph has died twice in that.
Oh, no, I said players, not PCs.
Yeah. But that, too. Anyways, so it is evening time now. You all have cleanly pressed uniforms. Lee has a nice dress that Shay will have a week to think over how it looks so that we can jump into it next week. But you are not at the Royal Palace. The address is a small estate within the city where the diplomat resides. But you are invited there as his guest, and the 3 of you are allowed to attend as her bodyguards, of course. You'd have, the roles of, standing off to the side and watching and stuff, but you're accommodated with your own meal. You don't have to sit there and starve the whole time, but, you eat out of sight, that sort of thing.
We eat at the kids' table.
Well, no, you probably eat in the kitchen out of sight.
I know.
But when you all arrive, it's a very formal looking event. Lee is not the only dignitary that's there. There are a number of others, humans, and a couple of dwarves, and a halfling, and other various representatives of the Federated States of Ralia. Mostly just not like other diplomats, but other well-to-do nobility that would associate with this wood elf. But when you all arrive, you're
But
greeted.
their elf doesn't release gods.
What's that? Yeah, their elf doesn't let out gods. Yeah, but he introduces himself. He's a tall and a handsome-looking wood elf with dark hair, a kind of lightly bronzed skin, and eyes the color of amber. But he introduces himself, gives you his name, does the polite thing of, kissing the hand of the lady, and you all, or Lee, is brought to a large dining table. And basically, even though it's a little bit shorter, I don't want to jump into it because I have plans for this dinner party.
Yeah, no, we can. This is a fine place to ramp up for next week.
And so, next week we'll dive right into this dinner party and see how it ties in to what I now have to work in for Lee's wish to a trickster god.
Whee!
Wild.
Yeah.
No one believes her.
Yeah. Well, hey, can you...
I didn't realize that was a wish.
It's fine.
You were asked what your heart's desire was.
It's fine.
They
It's
did not.
fine.
They did not specifically say wish.
They did not. No. I mean, trickster.
They just asked
They really
me what
do.
I wanted.
What you
fine.
desired most. Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, it's
Fine.
good.
It'll be fine.
But yeah, I mean, they didn't believe her. Yes, you have to understand just how.
Oh yeah, no, that sounds absolutely farcical. Absolutely.
How delightfully insane Shay made it sound.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah.
it was great. I love it.
Well, I mean, to be fair, whenever Lee retells any scenario ever, it doesn't necessarily sound super believable.
It's
And then this
hard.
one was also just not super believable. So we're
She
Yep.
put a bar
That's what you get for
flare into it.
It's what you get for telling the truth.
Toss a
Her
coin-
high elf is showing.
toss a
yeah,
coin
she's
to
high.
your
She's a
cipher.
high elf, all right. It's fine. I've got notes. It's cool. We're gonna have a fun time. We're gonna go to a party. It'll be great. I'm a warforged at an elf party. Let's go.
Toss a coin to your cipher or toss a coin to the mill.
Probably the familiar.
Both.
I have no need for mortal coin.
Oh, Raleigh,
I have very much a need.
I'm
I
an
very much have a
eldritch
need for
entity
coin.
far older than any of you.
Toss a
Charles is a single dad. Money.
He's a friend of humanity.
There you go.
Thank you.
Single dad just trying to make a buck.
Aw, did it? I was waiting for the description of the wife, and then I was like, oh no.
No.
Oh
No.
no. Who takes care of that Babu while he's gone all day?
Exactly.
No.
Exactly.
She's a small independent child. She can take care of herself. No. No,
I hung you in the show.
There's probably like a nice cat familiar grandma that takes care of her. And
Yeah.
she's probably tiny.
The neighborhood grandma.
Yeah, so we'll wrap up. Keavah, you probably have the only real outro, so go ahead and plug away.
Hi, I'm Keavah. You can follow me at Farachi Does Art on Twitter. I'm a freelance illustrator, graphic designer, and concept artist. Primarily, I work in Dungeons and Dragons characters, fantasy characters, but I've also worked for children's storybooks and independent games. If you ever find yourself in need of fresh character art for a stream game or something just you find you would like to have deep sentimental value with,
Why is this
feel
the
free
first
to
time
get in
hearing
contact
about
with
the
me.
child book?
Because it didn't pan out,
Oh,
Rin.
okay.
It didn't pan out.
Sorry.
They stopped contacting me. It
Gotcha.
fell apart halfway through. But I signed a contract, so it still exists.
There you go. Like, I immediately perked up when I heard that. I was like, really? Okay. Yeah. All right. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I was working on a children's book for about 6 months, but the creator ran out of steam, and we got about a dozen pages or so in before things kind of fell apart.
It's on your contract, so it's allowed to be in your portfolio. There you go.
Exactly. So yeah, but anyway, so that's Ferachi does art, Ferachi does art, no spaces. That's my Twitter handle.
Great. Well, everybody who's been watching, thank you for watching. You can follow us on Party Wipe Games, or give a subscribe and a like if you're watching this on YouTube. If you are watching this live, we will be back tomorrow for Vampire the Masquerade Northern Lights. I'm going to have to get used to not saying Vancouver by Night, but that's fine, because it was necessary rebranding and we all like the name, hopefully. Hey, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
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 Bye.